been a while since we've sat down to talk about life, so here goes. I'm going through some really major life changes right now, and it's made me think. So today we're going to be talking about relationships, specifically the F word. What is the F word, you may ask? Basically friends/family. You know, it's just the word friend. Like, you've changed its meaning. It doesn't even mean the same thing it used to mean anymore. Technically, anyone that you're kind of friendly with, in a way, makes them a friend. Because you can't just go around calling people acquaintances or companion, classmates, and colleague. You might not be friends with everyone. You might be friendly. In a conversation, you're just gonna use the word friend. Over time, I've kind of figured out, well, with me anyways, that there are actually two types of relationships. There's a spectrum. So the way it works is, here is the inner circle relationships, and over here are the business relationships. Now, what are the differences? Now, you could be anywhere within the spectrum. Business relationships are people you're forced to see because of circumstances, or because you have something in common in terms of activity. So you're forced to see each other every day or for a long time, so you kind of start getting to know each other and learning how to communicate, and you start building some chemistry. But this doesn't make you a friend. The most important factor when it comes to all of this is compatibility. You have to be compatible, but at the same time, how long is that relationship going to last? Because the moment you stop having that thing in common is if that's the moment you stop interacting, like, ever. That was a business friendship, but you didn't know that. There are a lot of people I no longer really talk with, that used to be really good friends, but that was a business relationship. At the moment we stopped having that common specific activity or whatever it was, it just stopped. And now I could care less what happens to them. And I'm pretty sure it's, both way feels like that. I used to be more extroverted than I am now. I think right now I found a little balance. I'm 50-50 depending on the context, mood, day, what's going on, and all of that stuff. But I've always had a habit of making strangers into a friend and then over time filtering it out. So let's say, there's an event going, there are 100 people. I'm going to try to make all of that 100 people friends, but over time I will filter it out. But what this actually resulted more often was that I had a lot of people that I could call a friend, but I didn't really know them. And this right here is what made me really think that maybe I should prioritize. There are some people I really care about, and there are some people I really don't. But in the past, I used to not spend enough time with the ones I really cared about. Or let's say there was a party going on. Let's say there were 10 parties going on in the same day. I'd somehow split my time to be at every single party within that day. But now I just prioritize. Over time, I ended up being more in touch with the people more compatible with me. Here's when we get to family. Ever since, primary school, I didn't really prioritize my parents. The last time I went back to Norway, I prioritized them. This was the first time that I put 100% of my time towards them. It was the first New Year's that I celebrated with them the past probably 10 years. And it was something special. I think that what also helped was me being away. You don't realize the value of what you have until it's no longer there. But thinking back, I ended up becoming friends with people who were not necessarily a good influence on me. But I finally started to branch out. Now, for some people, I have been distancing myself, but for some people it's the circumstances and the distance and literal distance. I'm in Netherlands. We have different plans in life. We're trying to all make our life better, and I think it all comes down to having a priority list. In a way, you are an average of your friends. My dad always told me this. He used to say, show me your friends and I'll tell you about your future, or show you your future. Our parents have experienced this whole thing. They had to go through a lot of people they called friends to find the people that they're friends with now. Find the ones that were worth being friends with. But I also embrace difference. If you have people who have slightly different mindsets and points of views and all that, it leads to a dialogue. A lot of time this can be beneficial because it's healthy. You get to see through somebody else's point of view. It gives you a different perspective on life. I think I've been lucky enough to have so many great people around me. But this didn't happen overnight. It took time and effort. But I think all of this goes back to International School of Stavanger. You know, I used to be very introverted back then. I kind of went from introverted to extremely extroverted to finding a balance between them. I think actually what helped me the most was the gap year after ISS. It's when I found my confidence. In our minds, we are the hero of our story. You know, we are the center of the universe. That's not true at all, but that's how we think about it. You're afraid of what others might think, so you're very self-conscious of what you're about to say, or if you're gonna make any mistakes, because we think people are gonna notice it. But what happens is that everybody's thinking about what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say. Oh, am I going to mess something up? You know, that's what they're thinking. They don't care if you make a mistake. It's only you. You know, we are our own worst enemy. We shouldn't have to wait until we are on our deathbed to stop giving a shit. Take these two. So being nervous or excited. You're about to present something in front of 1,000 people. You've never done this before. You have this feeling build up. You get adrenaline go, you know, you might tell yourself, I'm nervous. But you feel the same about doing something you really love. But we call that excitement. In reality, these two are the same. It's just how we see it. You know, like when athletes are about to perform or, you know, take their turn, they're always asked, are you nervous? Some of them say, yeah. And some of them say, no, I'm just excited. It's the same feeling. It's just how you perceive it. So knowing all of this has kind of helped me out, and it's just given me a really big confidence boost. The hardest thing to do is to start what you want to do. So I sometimes do this thing where, you know, people are like, oh, holy fucking shit, you got some fucking balls. I'm feeling the same thing you're feeling like right now. It's just I embrace it. The first 10 seconds is actually worse than the rest of it. Once you start, it becomes normal. But it's the same feeling, nervous and excitement. It's the same thing. It's just how you see it. I gained all of that in my gap year, and this really helped me develop as a person, and I've completely changed. And if I could go back in time, I'll kick my ass, you know?